All right, Chris, now for the benefit of those who might be getting into a relationship, I'm sure we'll still tackle now when you're already in the relationship and possibly living together, or you've been together for years. But for the benefit of those who are possibly striking a new relationship, are there ways you can pick out that this person is insecure?
Insecurity itself is hard to spot when you are in the first few hours of a relationship, because we're all on our best behavior and we're following a script, you know. But
we're out to impress.
Yeah, exactly. Perhaps you're standing in a posh bar. There's a set of rules about how you behave, and so you're following them, and so you can't see these things. But what you must always do in a brand new relationship is ask lots of questions and exchange lots of information. And the first thing you should be spotting is this person is a little weird. In any way, if they are not following the script precisely. Like, for example, they're much too forward. They are starting to say I love you and you've only met 15 minutes. Definitely a red flag.
Something's wrong.
Normal people do not do that. Anything that suggests to you that they're slightly odd. Somebody just jostles them as they go to the bar, and there's an immediate reaction.
The brawl.
Almost a brawl, yes. That is not a normal reaction. If you're with this girl you're trying to impress, you shrug it off, don't you? But some people don't. Anything like that, weirdness. I know that I'm not defining weirdness, because of course it can take 1,000 forms. But you, all of us, grow to know what normal people behave like. And if you start to see something that's a bit odd, like treating other people badly, the dynamics of the relationship going much too quickly and all those sorts of things. The other thing you need to learn a little bit about is relationship history. It's perfectly okay to say to a brand new date, you know, first of all, you're really establishing whether they're available, but you start asking, and it turns out that they've had no relationships, or they're all very short, or you're thinking,
that's an alarm bell, right?
It's another alarm bell. You know. So you just have to pick up alarm bells of that type. Now, the sad thing is that when you're 22, you haven't had the experience to spot these things. The same person at 32 would spot them in 10 seconds.
Yeah, true. I always say, in answer to that question, I tell people, follow the gaze. If you're sitting with this person, maybe it's the first or second time, and every time you turn your head like that, he's with you to check what you're looking at, then you know there's a problem there. Because, like you say, somebody could come brush by your shoulder or something, and the guy's already up, you know, flexing muscle. What are you doing? Why are you knocking us off? And people like that are very easy to know from day one. Because sometimes relationship history might not come out easily. Because if it's a guy who's a serial dater, and then you ask him, oh, so how many relationships you had? He said, probably 2. And he's just come out of the 11th one.
And probably another one just after this date.
And you know, one of the biggest problems is, you know, I said earlier that it's quite common for insecure people to meet up with insecure people. One of the reasons for that is that the insecure person who's just been approached by this new character is so desperate to have a relationship.
For the next one.
They're not doing the checking. They are not noticing the weirdnesses. They are not noticing the bad relationship history.
They're not going by the script.
They are not, well, you know, a good, secure person knows what the script is, and they are spotting straight away that this one is not good news. But the insecure person is so glad to have attention. You don't want to
you don't want to sound like you're also interrogating the other person when you meet. Because there are people who are very, very cautious about gelling, you know, giving out information on the first, second date. So they're like, stop behaving like a cop.
There's a skill to it, isn't there?
Yes, of course.
There are certain things
getting things out of someone.
There are certain things that are public, like I can ask about your job. If I ask you about your job, you're flattered. You know, and I can also ask things like, and what does your wife do? You know, spotted. I've known now whether you've got a wife or not, because you'll tell me the truth. And so this is a very well-known thing, that if you start the information acquisition process on public ground and slowly get more and more personal, people fall in love.
Makes your work easier.
People fall in love in that situation, you know. 3 hours later.